a desired state to which all the resources of the organization are directed. It states that imploring the aid of Almighty by 2030, the Philippine National Police shall be a highly capable, effective, and credible police force, working in partnership with a responsive community towards the attainment of a safer place to live, work, and do business. The mission statement of the Philippine National Police defines its mandates to enforce the law, investigate and prevent crimes, to maintain peace and order, and to ensure public safety and internal security with the active support of the community. Pursuant to Republic Act 6975, the PNP is vested with the following powers and functions. 1. Enforce all laws and ordinances relative to the protection of lives and properties. Maintain peace and order and take all necessary steps to ensure public safety. Investigate and prevent crimes. Effect the arrest of criminal offenders. Bring offenders to justice and assist in their prosecution. The 5-minute response time of the Philippine National Police plays a crucial role in fulfilling its core functions of crime prevention and investigation. By ensuring police officers respond to emergency calls on ongoing crimes within 5 minutes, the Philippine National Police increases its ability to prevent crimes in progress, deter criminal activity, and protect lives and properties. Rapid deployment not only disrupts ongoing unlawful acts, but also build public confidence in police responsiveness. In terms of investigation, arriving quickly at the scene helps preserve critical evidence, secure the area, and obtain accurate witness statements while information is still fresh. This early intervention significantly improves the chance of solving crimes and apprehending suspects. Overall, the 5 minutes response time reflects the PNP's proactive, efficient, and service-oriented approach to policing. Next slide. The exercise of general powers to make arrests, search and seizures in accordance with the Constitution and pertinent laws. Detain an arrested person for a period not beyond what is prescribed by law, informing the person so detained of all his rights under the Constitution. Issue licenses for the possession of firearms and explosives in accordance with the law. Supervise and control the training and operations of security agencies, and issue licenses to operate security agencies and to security guards and private detectives for the practice of their profession. The plans and programs aligned with the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. The PNP plans and programs aligned with the PNP Development Plan is comprehensive 6-year plan that embodies the agency's commitment to the direction and priority thrust of PBBM administration. As it is, the plan lays down the key strategies to respond to the challenges of the strategic environment, as well as address the PNP's internal gaps towards realization of the 3 organizational goals: improved crime prevention, improved crime solution, a highly trusted police education that are aligned with the Philippine Development Plan, a sectoral goal of ensuring peace and security. It likewise identifies the strategies and targets of organization that will allow the realization of the plan. The Philippine National Police can attain said goals by performing its mandate efficiently and effectively, since the public is given the freedom to thrive on their own daily grind and respective terms when they are ensured of protection and security. The PNP MTDP also responds to the Bagong Pilipinas, which is a call for transformation of our economy, governance, and society. It is a unifying framework to inspire the nation and the continuing aspiration of every Filipino towards trusting the government's leadership. Bagong Pilipinas incorporates various plans and initiatives aimed at transforming and improving different aspects of the community, which includes ensuring peace and order and strengthening the enforcement of law enforcement agencies to combat crime, illegal drugs, and insurgency. When these goals are attained, the agency will likely to contribute to the sectoral goal under DILG's organizational outcomes that will subsequently contribute to the attainment of the overall societal goal of the national government set by NEDA in PDP 2023 to 2028, that is, economic and social transformation for a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient society. Translated as matatag, maginhawa, at panatag na buhay. For the legislative priorities, shown on the screen is the list of the PNP priority legislative agenda for the 20th Congress. These are based on the legislative priorities in the 19th Congress and new proposals from the different PNP office units. The first one is the Organizational Reforms Act, which aims to adopt the existing PNP organizational structure to include the present and existing PNP offices and ranks of key officers pursuant to existing laws on NAPOLCOM resolutions. The second is the National Police Clearance System Bill, which intends to amend Section 24 of Republic Act 6975 to include the institutionalization of the National Police Clearance System. Third is the amendment of Republic Act 10175, Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, which intends to amend certain provisions of the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 to include, among others, the expansion of the definition of the service providers, authority of other PNP units and other law enforcement agencies on cybercrime warrants. The fourth is the legislative measures, is the bill granting subpoena powers to the Director of Anti-Cybercrime Group to address the increasing online cases of sexual abuse, fraud, and illegal activities using SIM cards. The fifth is legislative measure is the mandatory full autopsy, which seeks to make mandatory the full autopsy and prohibits unauthorized disposition of human remains arising from deaths under investigation or mysterious and suspicious circumstances. The sixth is the revitalization of the capability enhancement of the Philippine National Police, which aims to fill up the basic equipage and construction of standard police stations and offices nationwide, the adoption of AI-driven technology to modernize police administration and operations. These measures were among the PNP legislative agenda in the 19th Congress but were not enacted. The same should be part of the PNP legislative agenda as per PNP Command Memorandum Circular Number 23-2022, prescribing the guidelines and procedures in the review, formulation, and shepherding of the PNP legislative agenda in the 19th Congress. The CMC for the review, formulation, and shepherding of the PNP legislative agenda in the 20th Congress is pending approval by the Chief PNP. This CMC will allow the PNP to determine the final list of PNP priority measures for the current Congress. Seventh is the measure of increasing the mandatory retirement age of the PNP uniformed personnel to 57. It seeks to increase the retirement age of the uniformed PNP personnel from 56 to 57 to support the government's continuing efforts to address the financial concerns regarding the pension and military and other uniformed personnel. The eighth is the amendment of Republic Act 10591 relative to loose firearms. This measure mandates the registration of loose firearms but prohibit the transfers of ownership. Ninth is the proposed measure on the increase in subsistence allowances of PNP uniformed personnel, aimed at increasing subsistence allowance through legislation. The 10th is the proposal of the amendment of Section 73 and 75 of Republic Act 6975 pertaining to the computation of retirement claims for killed in police operation or wounded in police operations resulting in the total permanent disability. This aims to provide for maximum benefits to KIPO and WIPO PNP personnel. The 11th is the proposed measure on the regulation of sale, lease, ownership, and operation of drones. This mandates the registration of drone dealers, drone owners, operators, and the prescribed penalties for the violation thereof. The 12th is transfer of the mandatory courses for police commissioned officers from the National Police College to the Philippine National Police. This measure is aimed at transferring the mandatory courses of PCOs, such as the Officers Basic Course, Officers Advanced Course, Officers Senior Executive Course from the National Police College to the Philippine National Police. Some of these 12 measures, as indicated, were among the PNP legislative agenda in the 19th Congress but were not enacted. The same should form part of the legislative agenda of the PNP as per PNP Command Memorandum Circulars. That's all for the Philippine National Police, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, General De La Cruz. Before I recognize the Bureau of Fire Protection, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Antonio Tino of ACT Teachers, Congressman Dimsar M. Sali, Lone District of Tawi-Tawi, and Congressman J.B. Bernos, Lone District of Abra. From the Bureau of Fire Protection, Fire Director Jesus P. Fernandez, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the Honorable Chairperson of this committee, Honorable Rolando M. Valeriano, sir, the Senior Vice Chair, Honorable Romeo A. Acop, other Vice Chairperson of this committee, and members of this honored committee, good morning. Allow me to share the Honorable Committee, the BFP vision and mission, mandate, programs, and legislative priorities as we work towards a fire-safe Philippines. The order of my presentation would be, first, the vision and mission and mandates, BFP core program, that is FIRES, plans and program review, legislative priorities, BFP's commitment to a fire-safe nation by 2034. The vision of the Bureau of Fire Protection is to have a modern fire service fully capable of ensuring a fire-safe nation by 2034. And our mission is to prevent and suppress destructive fires, investigate their causes, enforce fire code and related laws, and respond effectively to disasters and other emergencies. For our core mandate, we have fire prevention, suppression, and investigation of all causes of fires that is anchored under Republic Act 6975. Administer and enforce Fire Code of the Philippines that is under Republic Act 9514. Respond to natural and man-made disasters and other emergencies that is anchored under Republic Act 11589 or the BFP Modernization Law. And there are other laws which relates to the mandates of the Bureau of Fire Protection, which are fire safety education and community empowerment. For our program FIRES overview, the BFP Fires Program is our flagship initiative driving transformation across all operational and administrative fronts of the Bureau of Fire Protection. The meaning of the FIRES stands for fostering BFP modernization, integrity monitoring, internal cleansing, re-engineering the organization, e-government, and strategic repositioning. This comprehensive approach ensures that every aspect of our service is modern, transparent, and responsive to the evolving needs of the people and the community. For the meaning of our FIRES plans and programs, first is to foster BFP modernization. This includes the continuous implementation of the BFP Modernization Program anchored under Republic Act 11589, which mandates us to upgrade our capability building and force restructuring. Procurement of advanced equipment such as fire and rescue trucks, emergency medical ambulance, through agreements or through bilateral agreements. Establishing fire laboratories nationwide, which is mandated to have one fire laboratory per island, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and also pursuing ISO certification for quality and laboratory standards. ISO 9001-2015 or the QMS implementation. For integrity, we have rationalized our recruitment and promotion system. We have rolled out our Oplan dig to go with those personnel who have been involved in selling, recruitment, and promotion of the Bureau of Fire Protection. Conduct anti-red tape by implementing the ease of doing business or the Republic Act 11032. Integrity Development Review in cooperation with the Office of the Ombudsman. Our organizational reengineering includes force restructuring. We have an ongoing revision of the BFP organizational structure, strong partnership with communities and stakeholders, collaboration with E911 and other E911 of the local government unit. For e-government initiative, we have already streamlined the fire safety inspection and certificate process and the fire safety evaluation clearance process by way of establishing the fire safety inspection system where an applicant would apply online for the certificate, pay online, and release the certificate also online. This is mandated under Republic Act 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business Act. Enable online payments and transactions at the comfort of their home, automation of all frontline services, and also the integration of the electronic business one-stop shop of cities and municipalities. For our program on strategic repositioning, we're intensifying fire safety education, rollouting our Oplan.
Excuse me, Congressman Plato is recognized. Yes,
Spirit of time will just furnish us, Mr. Chair.
mahaba pa po ba yung presentation niya?
Konti na lang, sir.
You may continue.
12:30 lang tayo dito.
Next slide for our legislative priorities. We have our legislative priorities for this 20th Congress. That is the rank classification bill. This was passed. We have already filed this in the 18th and 19th Congress, but was not passed into law. The amendments of the Fire Code of the Philippines, the transfer of the National Fire Training Institute to the Bureau of Fire Protection, the extension of the application and retirement ages for doctors, religious leaders, and the increase of subsistence allowance of the BFP personnel. These measures are essential to support our modernization, professionalization, and operational effectiveness. In summary, the BFP program is a nationwide roadmap to achieve a fire-safe nation by 2034. Through key reforms and programs, the BFP is committed to modernize our services, uphold integrity, and engage all sectors of society. We call on our partners and the chairman and members of this honorable committee and the community to support this initiative for a fire-safe Philippines. Thank you very much and good morning, sir.
Thank you. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Ramil Laurel Hernandez, 2nd District of Laguna. The last but not the least, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, Director Ruel S. Rivera, you are now recognized.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, sir, ma'am, the Honorable Chairperson and distinguished members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety. Let me proceed, sir, to present our report through an audio-visual presentation.
Presented is a diagram of the country's correctional landscape, which shows the distribution of PDL custody among various government agencies, such as the DILG, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. In the DILG, we have the district, city, and municipal jails under the BJMP, while provincial jails are under their respective provincial governments. Two laws have been critical in the establishment of the BJMP: Republic Act No. 6975, or the DILG Act of 1990, and Republic Act No. 9263, or the BFP and BJMP Professionalization Act of 2004. Pursuant to these issuances, all district, city, and municipal jails nationwide are placed under the supervision and control of the BJMP. Our mandate is the safekeeping and development of PDL. By 2040, we see the BJMP as a highly capable agency dedicated to global best practices and standards in jail management as our contribution to a safe, just, and prosperous Philippines. At the top of the BJMP's organizational structure is the Chief, BJMP assisted by the Deputy Chief for Administration, the Deputy Chief for Operations, and the Chief of the Directorial Staff. Providing support to the command group are the 11 members of the Directorial Staff and 14 Management Support Staff. Down the structure are 18 BJMP regional offices and 486 jails. We have 228 district jails, 159 city jails, and 99 municipal jails. Managing our jails and offices are 25,263 jail officers and 78 non-uniformed employees, for a total of 25,341 personnel. A total of 115,065 PDL are housed in our jails. Of this population, almost 75,000 are detained for drug-related cases, or 69% of the total PDL population. PDL under the BJMP's custody are either detainees or those undergoing trial, or sentenced to a maximum prison term of 3 years. 87% of our total PDL population are detainees, while 13% are sentenced. Of the current PDL population, 91% are male, and 9% are female. From 2017 to 2025, the national congestion rate has seen a steady decrease. As of July 2025, we have a national congestion rate of 292%, which is a 52% decrease from our peak rate last 2017. 5 of the top 10 most congested jails are located in Calabarzon. The jail with the highest overcrowding rate is Muntinlupa City Jail Male Dormitory in NCR. One of the ways to ease congestion is through our infrastructure projects. For the first 4 months of 2025, construction of 4 jail buildings in Calabarzon and another in Region 7 has commenced. Considering the rate of PDL with drug-related cases, we are enforcing strict measures to ensure that our jail facilities are drug-free, such as through the conduct of Greyhound operations and the promotion of a drug-free workplace. We also hold random and regular drug testing for PDL and personnel and implement thorough visitor screening in our facilities. Our efforts at allowing democracy to reach detention facilities have now gained a louder voice, as more national agencies are sharing in the state's action to promote the right of suffrage of persons deprived of liberty. As to our welfare and development programs, for the first to second quarter of 2025, 97% of the total PDL releases is because of our paralegal work, thus reinforcing its significance in decongesting our jails. One of the most impactful and transformative interventions of the BJMP for PDL is giving them access to education. This year, Alternative Learning System recorded a total of 10,739 PDL accessing programs to education. While there are already 107 graduates of the college behind bars with an existing 720 PDL enrollees. It is likewise our priority to ensure that the PDL are able to generate sustainable livelihood, with a total of 66,354 PDL beneficiaries. With that, these PDL have generated a gross income of more than 116 million. We also empower PDL to become better and productive citizens through our livelihood programs, therapeutic community modality program, cultural and sports activities, and counseling services. We will continue to strive for the highest standards of jail management through the PGS framework. We aim to keep pace with, and stand shoulder to shoulder with, other high-performing institutions that have embraced the PGS and demonstrated exceptional effectiveness in their respective fields. As we pursue continuous organizational excellence, we remain steadfast in advancing our performance governance system transformation journey. As shown is our strategy map for CY 2023 to 2028. And these are the BJMP's finish lines for year 2028. But for all these to be accomplished, we seek to first strengthen our organization. Our first legislative agenda is an act providing for rank classification and organization of key positions in the BFP and the BJMP. This legislative measure aims to address the inequality in rank among the uniformed personnel of the government, enhance the promotion system, and improve the morale and welfare of the BJMP and BFP personnel. Second is an act placing the provincial, sub-provincial, and district jails under the jurisdiction of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. This legislative measure aims to establish a uniform and standardized policy on the administration and supervision of all local jails to be entrusted to the BJMP. which is a specialized agency with a mission specifically geared toward the safekeeping, reformation, and rehabilitation of inmates. It also aims to promote professionalization of all jail personnel, which will now include the provincial jail guards. Third is an act mandating all correctional, custodial, and detention facilities to implement a contraband detection and control system, and providing penalties for possessing, introducing, or aiding and abetting the entry of contraband inside such facilities. This legislative measure aims to provide appropriate sanctions to be imposed on PDL found to be possessing contraband and on persons who are caught sneaking contrabands. And lastly, an act providing for the modernization of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology and appropriating funds therefor. This legislative measure aims to address the inequality in rank among the uniformed personnel of the government, to address congestion in jails, to achieve the ideal strength of the jail bureau vis-a-vis the PDL population, and to enhance the technological capability of the jail bureau. Again, our priority legislative agenda.
Are you done, Director? Okay na po. Okay. I-acknowledge ko lang po yung from DILG, Director Ross Rafael T. Bascuña, Legal and Legislative Liaison Service.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Honorable Chairperson, esteemed members of the House of Representatives.
Are you going to give a presentation?
Just a short message.
Just a message. Okay. Continue.
Colleagues in government, good morning po. On behalf of the Department of Interior and Local Government, allow me to express my gratitude for this opportunity to appear before this committee and present the mandate, plans and programs and legislative priorities of the department. The DILG is mandated to promote peace and order, ensure public safety, and further strengthen local government capability aimed towards the effective delivery of basic services to the citizenry. This is achieved through the department proper and our attached agencies, namely the PNP, BFP, BJMP, the PPSC or the Philippine Public Safety College, the National Police Commission, and our authority of general supervision over local government units. With respect to public order and safety, some of our mandates include to advise the President in the promulgation of policies, rules, regulations, and other issuances on the general supervision of local governments and on public order and safety. Establish and prescribe rules, regulations, and other issuances implementing laws on public order and safety. Provide assistance towards legislation regarding law enforcement and public safety. Establish and prescribe plans, policies, programs, and projects to promote peace and order and ensure public safety. At present, our major trust, Mr. Chair, as announced by our Secretary Juanito Victor Remulla, is the Unified 911 Emergency System. It will soon officially go live in certain parts of the country, such as Metro Manila, Ilocos, and Central Visayas. Other regions will follow. Currently, we have 35 emergency call numbers, and these will be centralized into just one call number. This new system will integrate police, fire, and medical response services, addressing the current gaps where only police typically respond to emergency calls. It will be powered by cutting-edge technology and will be expanded to other regions in the succeeding months. In this regard, Mr. Chair, we defer to the sound wisdom of Congress, and we will be submitting, in the interest of time, Mr. Chair, we will be submitting a detailed summary of our proposed legislative priority bills. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Director. We'll now go to the open forum, and the first member to ask question is Congressman Plato.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Salamat. Pinagbigyan nila yung pinakamatanda sa House. Maiksi lang naman to para mapagbigyan natin agad ang colleagues na makapagsalita. I'd just like to ask the NAPOLCOM as the oversight of PNP. How does NAPOLCOM ensure PNP's compliance with the civilian character and human rights standards? Can you elaborate on the current status and effectiveness of the PNP's transformation programs, such as the Patrol Plan of 2030, in achieving their vision of a highly capable, effective, and credible police service. Patrol stands for peace and order, agenda for transformation and upholding the rule of law. Are there any proposed laws aimed at improving police welfare, benefits, or working conditions? And what is NAPOLCOM's role in advocating for this? Thank you, Mr.
That's
Chair.
all. Attorney Kalinisan, you may now respond to the question.
Mr. Chair, again, good morning. Ginagawa po ng lahat ng inyong National Police Commission, kasama po nating lahat ng commissioners po present, ang to ensure proper supervision and control over the Philippine National Police. Alam naman po natin na sa Constitution, ang nakalagay po doon, there shall be one police force, national in scope and in character, and administered and controlled by a National Police Commission. So, tayo po ay nakatutok. In fact, ang marching orders po natin nung pag-upo natin roughly 4 months ago, one, zero backlog by 2025. Napakarami pong kaso ho ngayon doon. At yung pangalawa po, lahat po ng mga bagong kaso kailangan po resolved within 60 days, which is a tall feat, knowing how it is, how to hear cases po sa ating bansa. But we are trying our best. So, we are really partnering with the PNP. They are our brothers. Hindi po contest po ang pamamahala po sa Philippine National Police. And we are listening to them. We are listening to the men on the ground. Ang ginagawa ko natin talaga, we reach out to the smallest policeman. Kahit po patrolman, they have direct access po to us, not just the high-ranking officers. In fact, we have been going around the Philippines po, Mr. Chair, to make sure of that. As far as Patrol 2020 is concerned, we are also coordinating. Yung po ang think tank po, yung po office po na yun, ang think tank po ng Philippine National Police. We are in touch with them. We coordinate with them. Hindi ho po pwedeng hindi ho natin sila kausap. Not just that office po, Mr. Chair, but all offices po of the Philippine National Police. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney. Before you continue, Congressman Plato, I would like to acknowledge Congressman Carl Nicolas C. Cari, 5th District of Leyte. Congressman Plato.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sa iba namang mga agents, thank you pala si Vice Chairman Kalinisan. Sa kung po naman to sa Bureau of Fire Industry, I understand that after the ratification of Republic Act number 11589 passed on September 10, 2021, the Bureau of Fire Protection should submit a revised organizational structure and staffing pattern to the DILG and DBM after the promulgation of its IRR. My question is, have you submitted these requirements to include also the upgraded qualification standard as required to the Civil Service Commission? Ang aking concern po dito, Mr. Chair, pareho ba ang level ng liderato ng BFP sa PNP, considering na lumalawak na rin ang katungkulan ng BFP sa ngayon nationwide? Ganun din po ang sa Bureau of Jail Management Penology. Malawak din ang kanilang responsibilidad because their mandate is to oversee the administration, operation, and management of city, district, and municipal jails across the country. Sa PNP, ang namumuno ang Chief PNP with the rank of a Police General equivalent to 4-star General. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Sa BFP ba o sa PJMP, ang namumuno ay BFP Chief of at saka PJMP Chief. Pareho ba ito with the rank of Director equivalent to 2-star General? Mr. Chair, di po ba kailangan na rin nating ipantay ang BFP at PGMP Chief para sa PNP Chief? Ang appointment nila parehong manggagaling sa ating Pangulo upon the recommendation of the DILG Secretary. Ito lang ang pagsasabi.
That's all.
Thank you very much.
First to respond, Fire Director Jesus P. Fernandez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With regard to the upgrading of rank of the Bureau of Fire Protection, we filed the necessary amendment of Republic Act 6975 and 9263 in the 18th and 19th Congress, but up to the committee level. Again, this Congress, this 20th Congress, we refiled again such upgrading of rank of the Bureau of Fire Protection together with the BJMP for us also to have a level with other bureaus created under the Executive Department, Mr. Chair. With regard to the force restructuring of the Bureau of Fire Protection, we have already submitted necessary structure to the DILG, to the DBM through the DILG for the creation of offices under the BFP Modernization Law or the RA 11589. And we have already adopted we just place acting director in its positions that was created under the law, Mr. Chair, sir.
Before you continue, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Christopherson Coco M. Yap. From the jail director, Director Rivera, you may respond to the question of Congressman Plato.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. On behalf po ng BJMP, kung napansin po nyo kanina yung presentation namin, yun po yung first aming legislative agenda. That is an act providing for rank classification and organization of key positions in the BJMP and the PFP. Ito po ang nakapaloob po dito doon po sa aming proposal is a 4-star rank na po ang mag-head both for our agency, the BJMP and the PFP, as well as yung renaming po ng aming ranggo. Kasi po ngayon, kami na lang po ang natitira na ang aming pong ranggo, katulad ko po, director, that is an equivalent to Major General in other law enforcement agency and then the military. So para po nagkakaroon minsan ng confusion, but it's not a confusion. Yun po ang ano namin, kaya nga po we are asking the help of this Committee on Public Order and Safety to support us para po doon. Kasi lumalaki na rin po yung aming organisasyon. Kasi during that time, na kami po ay 2-star, we are only measly 5,000 to 7,000. But for now, we are more than 25,000. And by this December, after talk out of 2,000, we are 27,000 na po. So, within indulgence of the members and the chairman, supportahan po niyo kami, sir, para po dito. Malaking bagay po ito sa amin, para sa moral ng aming pong tao, at sa, siyempre po, sa ikaw-unlad na rin namin, kasi lumalaki na po yung organisasyon namin. We need also to further strengthen ito, and palawakin pa rin po. And doon po naman sa, lumalaki na po, we have 18 regional offices along the country. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Hayaan niyo po, once na nandun na tayo sa Committee on Appropriation, tignan natin yung magagawa natin sa inyo. Are you done, Congressman
Thank you,
Plato?
Mr. Chair. Thank you
Okay.
po.
The next to ask question is Congressman Jokno. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My first question is addressed to the General de la Cruz of the PNP. Kahapon po, humarap sa amin dito sa Kongreso ang chairperson ng Commission on Human Rights. At sabi niya, dun sa kanilang pag-iimbestiga ng mga EJK during the past administration's war on drugs, nahihirapan daw silang makakuha ng access sa mga police documents and police reports. At ang ginagamit na dahilan ng PNP ay yung Executive Order number 2, which ironically is the Freedom of Information Executive Order of the former president. Now, if you look at EO number 2, in particular the exceptions to EO number 2, while it does provide that information concerning law enforcement are within the exceptions, meron pong condition yon that the agency can only refuse to provide documents, especially to another government agency like the CHR, if it will interfere with enforcement proceedings, deprive a person of a right to fair trial, reveal a confidential source, or disclose unjustifiably investigative techniques. Now, may I know why the PNP is refusing to provide another agency of the government, the CHR, with official records and police reports that emanate from your office?
Before I acknowledge you, General, I would like to acknowledge the the presence of Congressman Terry Ridon of Bicol, Saro, and Congressman Reynante Arrogancia, 3rd District of Quezon City. Quezon Province, sorry. General De La Cruz, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For that particular concern, sir, as much as I want to answer those questions, I think that is beyond the level of my authority, and I am only limited to the presentation that was requested by this committee. And but we will relay this concern, sir, as soon as we get back to the national headquarters, and we will submit a report, a response on that query. Thank you,
Well,
sir.
please inform the new chief of the PNP that we need assurances from the Philippine National Police that they will provide full cooperation with the Commission on Human Rights in its fulfillment of its mandate. Could I hear from the Vice Chair of the National Police Commission their position on this matter?
Kanino po directed yung question niyo? Sa
Kay
NAPOLCOM?
Attorney Kalinisan po.
Attorney Kalinisan, you are recognized.
Mr. Chair, we're actually doing a targeted investigation on the EJ case, Mr. Chair. We have not announced it, but we are doing our homework. So it is ongoing, Mr. Chair.
Would the National Police Commission have a position, if I may, Mr. Chair, on this alleged refusal of the PNP to provide documents on the basis of Executive Order Number 2?
From what I've gathered, Mr. Chair, we had a talk with the previous leadership of the PNP. In fact, I was there alongside Representative De Lima. And the direction right now is to actually provide access to investigative bodies because that should be the course of things. So hopefully with the new Chief PNP and of course with the National Police Commission, who is currently investigating the EJ case, we will get somewhere, Mr. Chair.
Representative Jokno.
Just one more question, if I may, Mr. Chair. Addressed to Attorney Kalinisan. I have done some studies on the PNP disciplinary procedures, and when I looked at it, I was very surprised that cases can be filed in so many different offices. You can file an admin case before the chief of police, the mayor, the pleb, the provincial or regional IAS, the regional directors or provincial directors, even the chief PNP. And I find that it is so confusing and complicated. Is there not a way that we can provide a simplified disciplinary procedure that ordinary citizens can avail of? Because from my studies of the rules, you have a very strict forum shopping provision, and that may even result in dismissal of cases, even if those cases are meritorious. May I have your opinion on that?
Attorney Kalinisan, your response, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, I agree to some extent, Mr. Chair. However, please note that these are the provisions of the law. So under 6975 and 8551, they're actually different disciplinary authorities. So I think this would be a response to possible abuses and yung pong ginawang check and balance po under the law. That's why the ordinary person can go to different agencies, the pleb, IAS, mayors, governors, and you name it, Mr. Chair. Pero tama po kayo, medyo magulo. Maybe that can be subject to legislation. But rest assured po, Mr. Chair, that your National Police Commission is also a disciplinary authority. In fact, it is the disciplinary authority over all members of the Philippine National Police. And the decisions of all other disciplinary authorities are appealed to the National Police Commission. So nakikita ho namin ho yun. Particular po lalo kapag demotion or dismissal po ang kaso, these are appealable to the National Police Commission. So if you feel po, Mr. Chair, that medyo marami nga po, that is subject to amendments of 6975 and 8551, Mr. Chair.
Just one
Congressman
follow-up,
Jokno.
if I may.
Sige, go ahead.
I understand that that is based on what the law provides, but the forum shopping rule is not found in the law. That is only found in the uniform rules that were issued by NAPOLCOM or the PNP. So why do you have to have such a strict rule? Why can it not be that if a mistake is made in where the forum is filed, that it simply be transferred to the proper office?
Mr. Chair, I actually agree with you. In fact, pag-upo ho natin sa NAPOLCOM for the past 4 months, ang isa ho sa inutos din ho natin the revision of 2016-002. That is the Bible of all disciplinary authorities. So nagkaroon na po ng right shop, yung po nagkita-kita na po ang lahat po ng disciplinary authorities po sa Pilipinas. Nag-propose na ho ng bagong rules. There are proposed rules on our desk. Ang lalong-lalo na ho yung speed kasi ho pansinin ho natin yung bahong kaso inabot ho ng dekada. That is we're saying no to that, Mr. Chair. We're giving more elbow room to the ordinary person to approach a disciplinary authority to seek redress. So that's why we totally agree with you, Mr. Chair. And we will make sure that in our new rules, which we will come out very, very soon, this will be addressed. Your specific concern will be addressed, Mr. Chair.
Thank you to the Vice Chair, and thank you, Mr. Chair. No more questions.
Next to ask question is Congressman Santos.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to the members of the committee, resource persons po. On public safety and crime prevention po. Mr. Chair, may we have an update on the modernization of the PNP, such as the body cameras, CCTVs, digital forensics, and tools against cybercrime? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So, General De La Cruz, your response, please.
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to submit the data since those informations are not available to my office? We will ask the Directorate for Logistics to produce the data as required.
Ay, papanis na lang daw po tayo ng copy, Congressman Santos.
No problem, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's all. Next is Congressman Akop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Doon po sa NAPOLCOM, meron po kayong legislative priorities na sinabi. And nandito po sa inyong mga sa dokumentong binigay po ninyo, amendments to the police disciplinary system. Meron po bang disciplinary system ang police?
Attorney Kalinisan, your response, please.
There are internal mechanisms po, Mr. Chair. To cite examples, there is the IAS, which is merely recommendatory to the Chief Philippine National Police. And the disciplinary authority in the PNP itself is the Chief PNP alongside the regional directors, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Akop.
Sorry. The members of the Philippine National Police are also governed by the Civil Service Law on discipline. Tama po ba?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Hindi po ba masyadong maluwag para sa isang uniform service yung disciplinary rules of the civil service? Sa
What do you
tingin
mean
po
po
ninyo?
masyadong maluwag, Mr. Chair?
Ah?
If I may be clarified with the question po, Mr. Chair.
Para bang hindi naaangkop yung rules on discipline ng civil service law sa uniform service like the police force?
Let's just say, Mr. Chair, there are specific rules that govern the uniform service, particularly the Philippine National Police, and that is currently NAPOLCOM Circular 2016-002, Mr. Chair. So there's a specific rule, not just the RRACs, which is used by the civil service. Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I know. But
Sige, Congressman Akop.
the Kasi from my experience, yung police kasi gumawa ng kasalanan or violate the law. Ang pinakamarami pong kaso sa uniform service ay yung police. The Coast Guard ko, konti ang kanilang mga kaso. Yung members ng Armed Forces of the Philippines ko, konti ang kaso. Yung members ng Bureau of Fire Protection at saka Bureau of Jail Management and Penalty ko, konti ang kaso. Would you agree with me that it's, I think, high time for the NAPOLCOM to come up with its own police justice system? Under the charter of the Philippine Coast Guard, they have adopted the military justice system that's provided for by the law, by their charter. So, siguro kailangan mas magkaroon yung police, national police ng sarili nilang police justice system similar to the military justice system. Siguro para akuan. Sa akin kasi, parang walang certainty of punishment yung mga members ng police force na gumagawa ng kalokohan. Kaya nauulit-ulit. Would you agree with that, Mr. Vice Chair?
I agree, Mr. Chair. In fact, if I may be allowed to also venture another answer, isa po sa rason din ho, mabagal nga po ang disposition ng kaso. Yung pong napansin ho namin ng commission nung pong kami po ay nandoon, sadly nga ako, meron pong 10, 12, 15, 20, 22, 25 years na kaso po sa NAPOLCOM. And we are saying no to that. That is terrible. Yun po ang real state of facts. So right now, ang utos nga ho natin, Mr. Chair, i-zero ho lahat yan. Yung libo-libong kasong yan, by end of the year, dapat po ma-zero yan. Kasi kung nangyayari, may kaso na yung police, inabot na ng taon, dekada, nandiyan pa rin yung police eh. It's very unsafe to have a rogue cop wearing a uniform, having a badge, having a gun. And dapat din po, yung po mga bagong kaso, mabilis. At ipakita ho natin sa publiko na mabilis po ang disposisyon ng kaso. So ang pangako ho namin, lahat po ng kaso, susubukan ho namin tapusin ng 60 days, 60 days po, Mr. Chair. Para ho yung pong mga ganyan, may klaro hong ehemplo na hindi ho po pwede na meron pong mga rogue cop po na nagsusuot ng uniforme. So tama po na may mga kaso nga hong ganyan. While we are for the moral and welfare of our policemen, we also need to discipline erring policemen, Mr. Chair. And speed is also an important aspect or facet of that. Para ho makita ho nila na may kahihinatnan ho sila kapag sila po ay gumawa ng kalokohan, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Isa rin po sa inyong legislative priority sa your police welfare and scholarship. Kulang po ba ang pondo ng Philippine National Police for the scholarship of their members and their dependents?
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, that is one of my personal missions po, being a product of a scholarship myself, Mr. Chair. Ako po ay anak ng pulis. Ako po ay nakatanggap lang ng scholarship, kaya po tayo nakaaral. Ang scholarship po ngayon ng pulis for those killed in action or wounded in police operation. So yun po yung in-adjust ho natin from a measly 12,000 pesos, in-adjust na ho natin through a NAPOLCOM resolution, inakyat ho natin to 100,000 plus. Pero ho, yung pong mga scholarships po ng healthy policemen, yun po ang wanting, yun po ang wala. At ang ginagawa ho natin ngayon is we are partnering and we're reaching out to private institutions, Mr. Chair, para magkaroon po na sana ng scholarships po ang mga anak ng police officers na healthy, na wala hong sugat o hindi ho namatay. At sana rin po magkaroon din po ng scholarships po ang mga anak ng mga NAPOLCOM employees po, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Acop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hindi po ba may share ang NAPOLCOM doon sa trust receipts funds ng Philippine National Police for the scholarship of NAPOLCOM personnel?
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair.
Would that not be enough?
Pwede po magamit din po yun. Pero ang batas din po, Mr. Chair, is for killed in police operations and those wounded in police operations po. So kailangan ka mo nang mamatay o kaya masugatan para magkaroon ng scholarship. Pag ikaw po a healthy policeman doing patrolling or in your desk, doing whatever, or a NAPOLCOM official o NAPOLCOM employee trying to police the police, at ikaw po yung may anak, wala po kayong scholarship po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the police, would you agree with NAPOLCOM na kulang yung pondo nyo for scholarship?
General De La Cruz, your response, please.
Although I'm not directly privy sir dun sa details ng pondo, but I think yung interest sir ng NAPOLCOM is
Your
towards the benefit of the PNP.
Your provident fund is already in the billions, which is the fund primarily for the purpose of providing scholarship to members of the Philippine National Police and their dependents. The one handling that fund is with the
DPRM.
Directorate for Personnel and Resource Management. Di ba?
Yes sir.
Eh, nasa plans ka eh. Alam mo dapat yun eh. So, it's already in the billions. As a matter of fact, you have added another use for your provident fund. Diba?
General De La Cruz, your response.
So, hindi pa ba enough yung pondo na yon? Naging billions na nga eh dahil hindi nyo nagagamit eh.
I will have to refer to the DPRM sir for that data.
So, Chair, the
Again,
Vice Chair
again.
is raising his hand.
For the answer to that question, sir, I will have to refer to the Directorate for Personal Records Management as to the actual amount used for scholarship programs for the PNP.
Sige. Attorney Kalinisan, may gusto kayong sabihin.
Tama po kayo, Mr. Chair, na may pondo po. May pondo po sa trust fund po ng PNP at sufficient po yun. Ang problema lang po.
Mr. Vice Chair, iba po yung trust fund. It's known as Provident Fund and it has a single purpose before. Yung trust receipt fund sila iba. Iba rin yun. I know the existence of this simply because kami po ang nagtayo noon ni Senator Lacson nito eh. Kaya binabantayan ko ako tuwing budget hearing kung ano nangyayari.
Mr. Chair. Yeah,
You may reply.
yes, sir. Just to answer those sa Provident Fund, there's a certain amount provided for all regional offices na nilo-loan ng mga personnel natin at a meager 3 to 5% interest po. I think yun yung bulk ng Provident Fund is utilized doon.
With your indulgence, yun po na yung second purpose. Ginamit nyo na nagbibigay kayo ng loan with a lower rate of interest. Kayo po nagdagdag ng purpose na yun. Hindi po yun ang original or number one na purpose. The number one purpose of that Provident Fund is to provide scholarship to your members and their dependents.
General De La Cruz, your response, please.
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir.
Mr. Chair, there's another issue which I would like to raise. Because the PNP has been violating this provision of law at confirmed by NAPOLCOM. I refer to Section 35 of Republic Act 6975. And I would like to quote, to enhance police operational efficiency and effectiveness, the chief of the PNP may constitute such other support units as may be necessary subject to the approval of the Commission, provided that no support unit headed by a chief superintendent or a higher rank can be created unless provided for by law.
General De La
Could you
Cruz.
please comment on that?
Thank you, sir. I believe that's been a part, sir, of the proposed Organizational Reforms Act. However, it was vetoed, and until now, sir, it's still pending. But the provisions pertaining to that as to the uh, uh, Police Brigadier General positions for the NSUs is already embedded in the proposed law, sir.
Kindly say that again.
The issue, sir, on the creation of the additional support units is already a part of the proposed organizational reform bill for the PNP, sir. However, unfortunately, it was vetoed in the 19th Congress, sir.
What does NAPOLCOM say about it?
I agree with your observation, Mr. Chair, that that is a long-standing problem. That is why I believe when before I arrived in NAPOLCOM, there was a proposal or a proposed legislation for modernization of the Philippine National Police in effect to affirm or confirm the current situation, Mr. Chair. So tama po kayo na meron nga pong mga ibang units po na might be questionable or questioned. That's why there's a need for further legislation, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Akop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm happy that the new Vice Chairman of the NAPOLCOM realizes this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Next to ask question is Congresswoman Luistro from Batangas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to all our esteemed colleagues and, of course, to all our resource persons. I wish to commend the Honorable Congressman Akop, Chairman Akop, for sharing with us the existence of Provident Fund, which is supposed to be for the scholarship of the dependents of the police personnel and officers. My attention was caught by the fact that it is being utilized for loan of police personnel. I wish to ask our NAPOLCOM, when the purpose of the fund was not addressed and it was used for a secondary purpose, the question is, what violation was committed by PNP?
Vice Chair Kalinisan, for your response, please.
I agree, Mr. Chair, that we really should look into it. It's the first time I actually heard about it, and I'm not comfortable with it. So we will look into it, Mr. Chair, and there might be some violations that we need to look into, Mr. Chair.
I just wish to remind the PNP that even when the fund was utilized for a public purpose, when the very or original purpose of the same was not properly realized, there's a possibility that there's a basis for technical malversation. Does the NAPOLCOM agree?
Yes, Mr. Chair. That's why we will look into it because that's a possible consequence of what is being discussed right now, which we only heard of for the first time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Now for my next question. This is for NAPOLCOM as well. Who supervises the pleb?
Theoretically, Mr. Chair, the NAPOLCOM looks into it, the DILG must look into it, and the local government units also looks into it. But in essence, the pleb is an independent body, Mr. Chair. Having been pleb chairman myself before in Quezon City, before I was in NAPOLCOM. So there are just reports that are submitted to these three above mentioned, which is the NAPOLCOM, LGU, and the DILG, Mr. Chair.
The mandate of pleb actually is very, very welcoming for the part of the constituents who have complaints about abusive police personnel. Problem is, no matter how good the program is, if the people are not aware, I don't think that we will be able to realize its mandate. For confirmation only, is pleb part of the structure of the PNP? Yes or no?
It is not, Mr. Chair.
Is it part of the structure of the local government unit? Yes or no?
Arguably, no, Mr. Chair.
Is it a non-governmental organization, should I say?
No, Mr. Chair. It is ordinary people given extraordinary power in law, Mr. Chair.
Nonetheless, sayang naman po ito kung hindi po natin ito ma-implement ng maayos. I wish to believe that it was provided for an intended purpose, and that is to address the complaints of the constituents against the abusive police personnel. If there is no clear guidelines as to who supervises the pleb, which is the first to accommodate the complaints of the ordinary people, I don't think that the people will be empowered against the abusive police personnel. So I hope that this will be one of the matters that the NAPOLCOM will be revisiting, how the pleb or the People's Law Enforcement Board operates in the ground. Ang akin po kasing appreciation dito, para siyang sumbungan ng taong bayan. But if the people are not aware, how can there be sumbungan ng taong bayan? I encounter some people who are inquiring, soliciting help. May ihahabla po akong pulis, but they don't know where to go. When actually, there has to be a pleb in every municipality. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair. I totally agree with you.
So for my last question about pleb, how do you inform the public na meron silang pwedeng takbuhan na pleb?
Again, I agree with you totally, Mr. Chair. In fact, sabi ko nga po, ako po ay dati pong chairman and executive officer of the pleb. Ang una ho nating nilaban ho noon, nung tayo po ang hepe ng pleb Quezon City, is actually awareness, Mr. Chair. Kasi tama po, kung hindi po alam ng tao na may pleb, may problema ho talaga tayo. So ang battle cry ho namin noon sa Quezon City is, pwede sa pleb. And I'm very happy that our Mayor, Mayor Joy Belmonte, was very supportive of the pleb. Hanggang po ngayon. And yun din po ang problema, ma'am, ng NAPOLCOM. Hindi rin ho alam ng tao yung pong NAPOLCOM. So ang pulis ho ng pulis, NAPOLCOM. Pero napagkakamalan pa kaming NAPOCOR, among others. So, buti na nga ako na pag-uusapan ho natin ngayon to, Mr. Chair, kasi hindi lang po pleb ang may problema sa awareness, including the highest disciplinary authority, which is the NAPOLCOM po, Mr. Chair.
So, for the benefit of the watching public, no? Gusto ko yung sinabi ni NAPOLCOM Vice Chair. Police ng police, no? Actually, you have the same mandate as pleb. So, sana po, ito na yung i-adapt nating slogan. Sa lahat ng nagre-reklamo laban sa mga pulis, please be mindful. Ang pulis ng pulis ay ang pleb up to the National Police Commission. And I hope you can come up also with the proper information campaign, because otherwise we will not be able to realize the mandate of pleb and even the NAPOLCOM. Kanina may question din si Chairman Acop about the cases that the NAPOLCOM is handling. May I know the statistics? Ilan po ba ang nafa-file per year? Out of the number filed, ilan po ang resolved as administratively liable at ilan po ang resolved as not administratively liable?
Mr. Chair, we can submit an inventory. Sabihin na lang ho natin po na libo-libo po ang kaso namin ngayon. Nalulunod na ho kami sa kaso.
No, per year.
O nga po, in
The
particular.
question is the number of cases which are being filed per year. For example, in 2024, ilan po ang na-file na kaso? Let us not consider the backlog. The one you were referring earlier na 10 to 12 years na, no? 20 years. Per year, yung mga bagong kaso.
We're checking now, Mr. Chair. Pero if I may, to answer your question indirectly po, we will submit po a list. But we're currently, the NAPOLCOM po is disposing 45 cases a day.
Wait, yung pinag-uusapan natin about the number of cases being filed with the NAPOLCOM, this is under your appellate jurisdiction, right?
Yes and no, ma'am. There are cases under appellate jurisdiction and there are cases which we handle under our regional exclusive jurisdiction, Mr. Chair. So kami po meron din pong summary dismissal power. We can do motu proprio investigations. Ordinary citizens can also come to us. Kaya rin po kami po talaga ang pulis ng pulis.
So how do you distinguish the cases which are being filed with the NAPOLCOM under its original jurisdiction with those being filed with the office of the PNP chief?
If I may, Mr. Chair, let me put it into three bins for simplification. One is the SD cases or the summary dismissal cases. Ito po yung mga kasong kami po mismo ang hawak po na unang kaso ho na kami mo nag-imbestiga o meron pong complainant na pumunta ho sa amin. Yung pong pangalawa, ito po yung mga National Appellate Board cases. Ito po yung mga kaso po na file po kay Chief PNP na we are doing an appeal. Yun naman po mga RAB or Regional Appellate Board cases. Ito po yung mga kaso po ng mga pleb na maaari pong na-appeal sa ating pong Regional Appellate Boards. So tatlo pong klaseng kaso
And
po
from RAB, aakyat sa inyo?
Hindi na po, Madam Chair. Ano na po yun? DALG po ang may hawak po noon. Secretary.
I see. About the original jurisdiction of the NAPOLCOM and the one being handled by the Chief PNP, ibig sabihin ba nito, I think this is the question also of the Honorable Jokno, the complainant can actually choose where to go?
Precisely po, Mr. Chair. Yun din po ang nilaban ho natin by relaxing technicalities po. In fact, nung pong pleb po tayo, we've been trying to relax 2016-002. Nakita ho natin yung problema on the ground. That's why nung pagsampa ho natin bilang pinuno po ng NAPOLCOM, ang una ho nating utos din, baguhin po ang rules na dapat po yung ordinaryong tao, yung magtatako, yung vendor, yung pong non-educated person can go to the NAPOLCOM or any disciplinary authority of his choice and file a case na hindi ho kailangan ng abogado at kinakailangan ng technical rules of procedure po, Madam Chair.
In your perspective as police ng police, are you agreeable na ang Chief PNP ay nag-a-accept ng administrative cases being filed by the private citizens? This is a hypothetical question.
It's fine, Mr. Chair. It's fine. But of course, we're looking at it from the aspect po of check and balance. It's a choice now of the ordinary citizen. If he wants to go to pleb, if he wants to go to IAS, if he wants to go to the Chief PNP, the Regional Director of the PNP, or to the NAPOLCOM, or to the Mayor even, he can do so. So, ito po yung check and balance mechanism po ng batas na nagsimula po sa check and balance mechanism po ng ating Philippine Constitution po, Mr. Chair.
Well, I commend the measures which are being provided to the ordinary citizens for the purpose of initiating their complaint against police personnel. However, I think there's problem also with respect to communicating the same to the public because the people are not aware. Even myself is not aware na ang dami palang pwedeng takbuhan ng mga tao, no? I just hope that the impartiality is very much secured given the number of avenue that may be considered by ordinary citizens. For my next question about reinstatement, please walk us through. Pag sinabing reinstatement, guilty na, liable na, discharged na. Pero in a number of cases, nakakabalik sila because of reinstatement. Please walk us through. Paano pinoproseso ang reinstatement?
If I may top of head, Mr. Chair, for example po, maybe the Chief PNP has dismissed, maybe the IAS has recommended to the Chief PNP for the dismissal of a particular police officer. And the Chief PNP may accept or reject the recommendation of the IAS. So the Chief PNP would then dismiss the particular police officer. Being immediately executory, ito pong police officer na to maaring na-dismiss. So aakyat po ito, kung mag-a-appeal po siya, aakyat po under the NAB, National Appellate Board, and NAPOLCOM po, maaari pong i-deliberate po uli yung kaso hong yun, pwede pong i-affirm ho namin yung decision po ng Chief PNP o pwede po nating i-reverse. Kung ma-reverse po, ma-reinstate. Kung dinismiss ho namin, in-affirm po namin ang desisyon ng Chief PNP, pwede po mag-appeal ho uli yung pong aggrieved police officer to the Court of Appeals. Secretary of DILG. So after Secretary of DILG, Court of
Parang iba yun.
Appeals, Court of Appeals, Supreme Court, ang haba ho eh.
How
Totoo
come?
lang eh.
How come I encounter some dismissed police personnel? They were dismissed for a long time already, but they keep on seeking for reinstatement. Is this possible? Dismissed for 10 years already and yet they're still seeking for reinstatement. Possible po ba yun?
Posible po kasi nga po, mabagal nga po ang NAPOLCOM noon. I emphasize po noon.
You would like to say na, or tama bang sabihin, the reason why they can still seek for reinstatement in spite of the passage of a long period of time is because the decision has not yet reached its finality?
Yes ma'am, because it was still under appeal with the NAPOLCOM na natulog nga ako ng napakatagal po yung kaso po noon, Mr. Chair. But like I told you, we are aware of the problem. Kailangan ho natin ngayon ng ipakita na magdidisiplina ho tayo at kailangan mabilis. That's why ito na po ang measures ho natin, Mr. Chair.
Final question on reinstatement. Once the decision reached its finality, no room anymore for reinstatement.
No room po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. For my next question, this is for the PNP. Of course, we respect and acknowledge the prerogative of our president to change the leadership of the Philippine National Police. We say thank you to our former Chief Torre, and we say congratulations and good luck to our new PNP Chief, General Nartates. No? Ang question ko lang, sir, ano pong nangyari dun sa program ni Chief PNP, Dial 911? Because it's becoming popular already to the children. Can you please enlighten us about its implementation, whether the same was successful or otherwise?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the message to the outgoing and the incoming, I will relay that to the chief at the same time to General Torre. As to the program of the 911, the 5 minutes response time, sinustain po ito ni General Nartates. That was a part of his pronouncement yesterday, that we will continue this project and we will sustain in fact he expanded it. Yeah, hindi lang sa 911 but all reports of complaint must be addressed swiftly and accordingly. So yun po ang kanyang instruction.
How about the success rate of Dial 911 from the time that it was launched?
I don't have the specific figures, ma'am, but only a small portion, yun yung mga valid calls. Malalaki pa rin yung mga frank calls. I will submit the exact
Can you
details.
just give us at least a percentage? Out of 100, ilan po ba ang natuwa? And out of 100, ilan po ba ang walang sumagot?
All calls pertaining to police assistance and reports were addressed and attended to, ma'am. Yun lang ang naging issue doon is yung proportion nung prank calls and other.
May mga prank calls.
Yes, ma'am. Malaki pa po. So parang yung
Sana
valid
naman wag
calls
nila
are...
paglaruan itong Dial 911.
Sorry, ma'am.
Sana wag paglaruan
Yes, ma'am.
ng mga tao yung Dial 911.
They have a way of labeling or flagging numbers who call pranks. Kaya they might risk or they will risk of not being accommodated later on kapag ka na-flag sila as prank callers. So yun po
Actually,
ang-
this Dial 911 gives us an impression that the response team is just right in the palm of our hand. Na pag tumawag ka, 911 through your cell phone, all the help will come.
Yes.
Tama po ba? Be it
Correct.
the BFP, the PNP,
even fire.
even the fire.
Yes.
Okay. Basta ito po sa umbrella lang ng DILG. Tama po ba yon?
Yes, ma'am.
Opo. Kaya lang po, ang mensahe po natin today, if you believe that this is successful, sana the new administration will be supporting it strongly. If you do not believe that the same is successful, then you can perhaps come up with some new program which will provide immediate response sa atin pong mga kababayan, no?
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you can give us more information about the success rate of this dial 911.
We will give you we will give you a official response on this, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, Mr. Chair. For BFP, I observed that in my district there are some fire trucks which are old and malfunctioning. Kapag po ang BFP, fire station, ay walang fire truck, para po yung police na walang baril. So, I am appealing to the leadership of the DILG. I hope we can consider as one of the priorities the basic needs of these agencies, no? Sir, sana po pakikumusta nyo ang mga fire stations in Batangas 2nd District, and I hope through you, they will be properly equipped.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will look into it. We are just only having a 1 billion automatic appropriation on the procurement of fire trucks, and due to limited numbers of procured fire trucks, we prioritize those municipalities without fire station. But at any rate, those municipalities that needs upgrade of the fire truck, we will look into it on distrito nyo po. Mr. Chair.
Napakahirap po nito, sir. Pag nagkasunog, hindi makakatakbo dahil walang fire truck. As I have said, this is like a police officer who is not provided with a handgun or a firearm, no? So, I am appealing to the leadership of the DILG that I hope we can look into this. Tutukan nyo po hindi lang yung walang fire truck. Tutukan nyo din po whether the fire truck are still in their good running condition. Otherwise, display lang yan. Thank you. And for my last question, BJMP, I understand po na meron kayong PDLs who are sentenced already. In the same way that the Bucor has PDLs who are sentenced already. Alam ni Senator Lailan sagot dito, but I do not know really. Ano hong pagkakaiba nung sentensyado na nakakulong sa BJMP with those who are detained in the Bureau of Corrections?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Pagkakaiba po kasi, doon po sa BJMP, kami po yung nagkikater nung mga hindi pa po sentensyado, undergoing trial.
Wait,
Also,
kanina po ay kasama sa report nyo, sentenced already.
yes, ma'am, 13% po on my presentation. Those 13% po, yun po yung mga 3 years and below. Sa amin pa rin po yun. Opo.
Is that in your charter?
Yes, ma'am. 3 years and below.
Kapag ang imprisonment ay 3 years and below, they should be, convicted prisoners should be with the BJNP.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Kasama.
beyond 3 years, they should be with the Bucor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yun lamang po.
Thank you very
Maraming
much.
salamat po for clarifying. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I would like to acknowledge this, Congressman Ismael Mangundadatu, Lone District, Maguindanao del Sur. Good afternoon. Next to ask question is Congresswoman De Lima. Ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa colleagues, to my colleagues, and also to the resource persons of the various offices. I have questions for NAPOLCOM, a series of questions, and one question for BJMP. Okay. We all know what's the hottest issue today. It started yesterday that many were surprised about the development of sacking or relieving the former PNP chief, Torre. We have not heard from the president, actually, although the order to relieve came from and was signed by Executive Secretary as the little president, as authority to sign for and in behalf of the President. And there has been no statement really from the Office of the President, whether it's directly from the President or through ES. Yung mga narinig po natin were the DILG Chief, Remulla, in his capacity also as NAPOLCOM, ex-officio chairperson, and some opinions raised or some information that we got, for example, from a senator who's the former PNP chief, that ostensibly the reason for the relief of former PNP chief Torre is that he exceeded his authority. And then tell me if I'm wrong, Attorney Kalinisan. Before that action of relieving the former PNP chief, the NAPOLCOM actually reversed some of the actions or some of the movements he made with respect to level 3 officers, correct? From the ranks of colonel to deputy chief for administration, specifically Nartarzer, who's now the current PNP chief. Okay. I would want to understand exactly whether or not first NAPOLCOM has the powers of review and reversal of the personal movements made by the PNP chief.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Vice Chair Kalinisan, you are recognized.
Yes, Madam Chair. Like I discussed po a while ago, ma'am, Article 16, Section 6 of the Philippine Constitution, there shall be one police force, national in scope and character, to be administered, and civilian in character, to be administered and controlled by a National Police Commission. And after which, meron pong RA 6975 and 8551. Yung pong salita pong control sa ating pong mga abogado, para maintindihan po ng taong bayan, eh napaka-importante po, ma'am. Ang ibig pong sabihin ng salitang control, eh pwede mo pong palitan yung pong nasa ibaba, desisyon sa ibaba. Yung po ang nangyari po, we reviewed, routine review po na ginagawa po ng National Police Commission at nakita ho namin na meron pong kailangan mga baguhin at meron pong kailangan mga strengthen. In fact, we're not just talking of one resolution, Mr. Chair. Meron po tayong isa pa pong NAPOLCOM memorandum circular po na pinag-uusapan wherein sinabi po na atin doon sa memorandum circular 2025-002 dated August 12 na lahat po dapat ng mga third level designations po nila ay dapat po dumaan po ng NAPOLCOM. Hindi po to bago, ito po ay noon pa ho, 1990s pa ho, ganito na ho talaga. Nagkalimutan lang po in some period in time at meron na hong mga previous resolutions po on this, Mr. Chair. We just reissued it, we reiterated that, and upon our review also a few days after, nakita ho natin na meron pong mga dapat pong baguhin. That's why we also issued resolution number 2025-0531 dated August 14 sa media po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, follow-up question. Okay, I understand about certain definitions, jurisprudential or legal definitions of operational control. And you're telling us that there have been resolutions or circulars issued by the NAPOLCOM with respect to its powers to review, reverse. Now, I've been looking at both laws, Republic Act 6975 and as amended by 8551. Sa 6975 po, ang nakalagay doon before it was amended is that exercise administrative control over the PNP. But it has not really defined the very scope of administrative control, neither did it enumerate specifically those functions within or the scope of the functions or powers of NAPOLCOM within that umbrella of administrative control. But in the amendatory law, RA 8551, very clear po dito ang sabi. So this is section 5, Section 14 of Republic Act 6975 is hereby amended to read as follows. So Section 14, powers and functions of the Commission. The Commission shall exercise the following powers and functions. Letter A, exercise administrative control and operational supervision over the Philippine National Police, which shall mean the power to, and it enumerates 12 specific powers. Ilang beses ko na po ito iniisa-isa. And please note that in that particular part or portion of Section 14 being amended, exercise administrative control and operational supervision over the Philippine National Police, which shall mean the power to. It says which shall mean the power to. It did not say which includes but not limited to the power of, etc., etc., etc. So as I said, there are 12 specific powers and functions. There's no mention about this enumeration being not exclusive. Because if it was meant to be exclusive, dapat yung nakalagay po dito, which shall include but not limited to the power to letter number 1 up to number 12. And iniisa-isa ko, as I said, the closest that I can cite, kasi yung iba po, ibang-iba sa issue ngayon, the very power of NAPOLCOM over the actions of the PNP chief. Okay. Ang nakita ko lang po dito na medyo malapit pero hindi pa po ito dapat ang i-cite natin kasi malayo rin. Affirm, that's subparagraph 6. Affirm, reverse, or modify through the National Appellate Board personal disciplinary actions involving demotion or dismissal from the service imposed upon members of the Philippine National Police by the Chief of the Philippine National Police. I don't think this is the one applicable here. Correct? Attorney Kalinisan, because we're referring here to the movements and actions made by the former PNP chief with respect to PNP officers from level 3 up, including the deputy chief for administration. So am I correct in I've been looking at this, wala po akong makita. Because this is the law. A law is superior over resolutions or circulars. And even if it's in the Constitution, but the Constitution just give us a broad overview, then that is why there are implementing laws. And 6965 and 8551 are the implementing laws. Please convince me that NAPOLCOM was perfectly within its powers when it reversed the actions of the former PNP chief.
Vice Chair, we are recognized.
First and foremost po, Madam Chair, we welcome po yung pong observations po ninyo. And that is most welcome po, ma'am. But if I may, part of the IRR of RA 6975 includes administrative control shall encompass, but is not limited to, the promulgation of policies and standards, plans and programs, the review, approval, reversal, or modifications of plans and programs relating to personnel, among others. If I may also, Madam Chair, that's the IRR of 6975 po. Also, Madam Chair, as defined in Book 4, Chapter 7, Section 38 of EO 292, Series of 1987, supervision and control shall include authority to act directly whenever a specific function is entrusted by law or regulation to a subordinate, direct the performance of duty, restrain the commission of acts, review, approve, reverse, or modify acts and decisions of subordinate officials or units, determine priorities in the execution of plans and programs, and prescribe standards, guidelines, plans, and programs, unquote. Also, Mr. Chair, this includes the power, according to Rodora M. Ledesma versus Court of Appeals, GR number 113216, dated September 5, 1997, the power of an officer to alter or modify or nullify or set aside what the subordinate officer has done in the performance of his duties and to substitute the judgment of the former for that of the latter. Also, Mr. Chair, in the case of Drilon versus Lim, GR number 112497, 235 Skra 135, the difference between control and supervision was further delineated. Officers in control lay down the rules in the performance or accomplishment of an act, If these rules are not followed, they may, in their discretion, order the act undone or redone by their subordinates or even decide to do it themselves. On the other hand, supervision does not convey such authority. Supervising officials merely see to it that the rules are followed, etc., etc. That is
Thank you, Mr.
Pimentel
Chair.
versus... Yes, ma'am.
I just wish to cut you off because I know, of course, the jurisprudential rule, the jurisprudential definition of administrative control, operational control, etc. But then, what you cited earlier is the specific superiors over subordinates. And therefore, a superior has control and supervision over subordinates. I'm talking here the scope of the powers and functions of the commission. It's a body. And then the PNP chief is actually a member, an ex officio member. Gusto ko lang ho talagang maintindihan because probably this can be an area for legislative amendments to further amendments to the current law 8551. Klarado ho kasi yung pagkaka-define ng administrative control and operational supervision over the PNP dito sa Section 14 as amended by 8551 RA 6975. So I'm having a problem grappling with that. Especially so na hindi nga natin maintindihan pa. I wouldn't know whether we have to believe the official line behind the relief or the dismissal of the former PNP chief. Kasi sabi ko nga, bakit hindi nagsasalita ang Pangulo? And I also find some conflict in the statement. Hindi ko lang po alam kung tama yung pagkakarinig ko from SILG na despite his relief, he still has the trust of the president. I don't understand that. When you deal with your appointees, especially the executive level, including the PNP, it is based on trust and confidence. Now, you can dismiss him for lack of trust and confidence. So ano po ba ang tama doon? Does the president still has trust on or with General Torre? Tama ho ba yung sinabi ni SILG? Why would he relieve somebody whom he still trusts? Kasi I really don't know. I'm confused about the official line. It's about exceeding authority. But what exactly did he exceed? Kasi alam naman natin, okay, sa appointment, yung PNP chief, walang problema. Ang power of appointment ng PNP chief is limited only to the ranks of lieutenant or inspector to lieutenant colonel or superintendent. All others, the level 3 officers, from colonel all the way to the PNP chief, including the PNP deputy chiefs, are the sole power of the president to appoint. Okay, so hindi pwedeng pakialaman yan ng NAPOLCOM especially. And I even noticed, Attorney Kalinisan, that when it comes to the appointing powers, from a reading of Section 31 of 6975, na hindi naman po siguro na-amend ng 8551, excuse me, only the president, the PNP chief, the CSC chair, Civil Service Commission, and Commission on Appointments have a role in the appointment of the PNP deputy chiefs for administration and operations. Ang process po, the PNP chief recommends. It's not even the NAPOLCOM that recommends. The CSC chair endorses. The president appoints, and the CA confirms. Would you confirm that process of appointment when it comes to level 3 officers? Yes, yes.
Vice Chair Kalinisan for your reply.
Ma'am, I'm not sure what you are reading because there is no there's no CA confirmation for policemen, Mr. Chair.
I'm,
In fact,
sorry, I'm actually referring to the PNP deputy chiefs.
opo.
Meron, di ba?
If I may read the law, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Section 25, Organization. The PNP shall be headed by a chief who shall be assisted by 2 deputy chiefs, one for operations and one for administration, both of whom shall be appointed by the President upon recommendation of the Commission. The Commission being referred to is the National Police Commission, Madam Chair.
Mhm.
And if I may, Madam Chair, the intent of yung legal basis. The intent of 6975 is also clear. The Philippine Constitution was a reactive constitution, Mr. Chair. In 1987, Constitution was drafted by the crafters to put in more checks and balance for the uniform service. In fact, it is the elementary precept that the civilian authority is over the uniform service. Kaya po, ito po ang ganito po kahigpit ang mga bagay. In fact, it's also recognized in the deliberations in RA 6975 po, Mr. Chair. Sabi po dito, if I may read a portion of which, yung 6975 po yung PNP law, sabi po dito Honorable Drilon, Section 5 which seeks to amend Section 14 of RA 6975, blah, 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 blah. Chairman Goles, and I would like to invite your attention to page 8, paragraph 10, because it is stated there, inspect and assess the compliance of the PNP on established criteria. Is this related? The response of Honorable Drilon was, yes, yes, that's precisely the purpose. We will authorize the NAPOLCOM to establish a criteria for manpower allocation, distribution, and deployment, and also the NAPOLCOM is empowered to check on the PNP on the compliance with that criteria. That is the minutes of the Bicameral Conference Committee on Public Order and Security on the passage of 8551.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
And thank you for that information of the deliberations. Now, okay, let me be clear. Did the former PNP chief appoint beyond appointment?
Vice Chair Kalilisan.
There are some appointments or designations which were not coursed through the National Police Commission, Mr. Chair, which needs prior National Police Commission clearance. And this is already an appointment made by the President, which actually violates also civil service laws, Mr. President, alongside National Police Commission resolutions, Mr. Chair.
There have been appointments. And you can say these are in excess.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
How about movements? Because that's what happened here. Correct? The former deputy for administration of the PNP was moved as deputy for administration, was moved to what area was that?
Area Police Command, Your Honor.
Western Mindanao.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair. That's not merely a movement, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
That's actually
yes.
an appointment, Mr. Chair. The President already made an appointment for a certain Lieutenant General Nartates to be Deputy Chief for Administration. Under the law, it should be appointed by the President upon recommendation of the Commission. And there's a penal clause for violations of civil service laws, Mr. Chair. In fact, under Republic Act 2260, no officer, Section 32, no officer or employee in the civil service shall be removed or suspended except for cause as provided by law and after due process. So there is already an appointment, valid appointment made. No, it did not pass through NAPOLCOM, and which should be. There's already NAPOLCOM resolutions also to that effect. And under the power of control also, Mr. Chair, which we have extensively discussed, it is well within the power of the NAPOLCOM, Mr. Chair, to release the memorandum circular and the resolutions, Mr. Chair.
Excuse me, Congressman De Lima, because of time constraint,
Yes.
baka pwede po wrap up.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
I
Thank
have
you po.
lots of questions. Marami pa akong tanong to NAPOLCOM. But in the interest of time, and I don't think this is the only forum that we further
Tama po.
this issue because I'm trying to understand the actions of NAPOLCOM and also the Office of the President. Because isang point lang po, which could buttress what you just. Okay, kasi naniniwala din po ako na yung pagdating sa deputy, and here the deputy, this was not a simple case of move. Because remember, appointment to that position, respect to a specific rank. Yung so if you what create confusion respect to that, o pakialaman mo, that is practically your authority. That particular, he was deputy chief for administration, the same thing, deputy chief for operation. There, appoint. So questionable. The PN, then derogates the president. You agree?
Precisely, Mr. Chair. That is why the NAPOLCOM stepped in using its review powers and its power of control. That's why we have to make changes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, as I said, I have many more questions, but isang question lang po sa BJMP.
Sige po.
Okay, just one question for. Are you open to having a unified penitentiary system?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Alam niyo po, ma'am, it is stated doon po sa Philippine Development Plan 23 to 28. Talaga po dapat unified po kasi doon po sa presentation ko a while ago, napakarami po, Mr. Chair, nang kumbaga humahawak nitong mga kulungan sa atin. May DSWD, may BJMP, may Bucor, mayroon pa pong provincial deal. That is why, kaya po ma'am, Mr. Chairman, ang una nga po naming move dito is yung provincial deal sana ma-incorporate sa amin. Kasi po napakalapit po ng kanilang mandato sa mandato ng BJMP. Then ito nga po, sumusunod po tayo doon. Kaya po we are favor of it to have one jail system in the Philippines kasi nga po very fragmented. And we are looking at it in the international level, doon po sa international, meron pong iisa lang. And some other countries, dalawa lang po. Yung pong may final conviction at yung pong undergoing trial.
In other words, Mr. Chair, do I understand that JMP chief?
Yes, we are very much open, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Further, with respect to the filing of my unified penitentiary system. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Permission to leave.
Thank you po. Yes, ma'am. Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge Congressman Antonino Roman III of First District, Bataan. Next to ask question is Congressman Ominal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the interest of time, Mr. Chair, I'll just limit myself to 2 questions. The first would be addressed to our colleagues from the PNP and the NAPOLCOM, Mr. Chair. So earlier, Mr. Chair, several of our colleagues inquired on potentially legally deficient acts of the PNP. Kong Shell Diokno inquired about the possibly misplaced reliance on the EO on freedom of information, given that some of the conditions therein may not have been complied with, and our Senior Vice Chair, Kong Romeo Acop, inquired about the possibly erroneous additional use for the Provident Fund, Mr. Chair. And seems to me, Mr. Chair, from the interpolations of our colleagues earlier, that the PNP may not have been given proper legal advice, but I also come to realize that the points raised by Kong Jokno and Kong Akop, while they may be readily obvious and apparent to lawyers such as themselves, it may not be as obvious to laymen, and of course, those includes our officers and the personnel from the PNP. And I am also reminded, Mr. Chair, of a time when one of PNP official confided in me that oftentimes when they conduct investigations or when they prepare for operations involving high-value targets, there are indeed some PNP personnel who may have inhibitions or apprehensions when the target threatens them with legal action, especially because it is quite expensive to hire a lawyer or legal assistant. So my question to the PNP, Mr. Chair, and also to the NAPOLCOM later on, and of course the PNP, I understand they may not be representatives from the PNP. General De La Cruz may not yet be fully clothed to respond to this. So if they wish, they may wish to respond with a position paper later on, but just to hear their initial thoughts. Does the PNP as an institution and of course the personnel of the PNP, including its officers and the rank and file members, do you need more legal support in dealing with your day-to-day operations so that there will be more lawyers to provide you with legal advice and of course to handle also the legal concerns of your personnel?
General
Chair.
De La Cruz, for your reply.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, sir, for raising that concern. The PNP has a national support unit, the legal service.
Yes.
The previous chief PNP gave the direction that even the legal service will represent PNP officers who are engaged into a subject of complaints for as long as it is service connected. And I believe DBM has also allocated funds for that to support that activity. There's a legal service fund, but I'm not exactly sure on the figures, but we will submit a position paper on this matter.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, if I may have a follow-up question.
Sige, you may continue.
Just to clarify my question, I understand that there is a provision for that for the PNP, but just to clarify my question, Mr. Chair, sapat na po ba yun? Or do you need more of that to really address the concerns of the PNP as an institution and as well as to address the concerns? You know, is the current status, the current state of that legal support fund or provision sufficient? No, and yes, Mr. Chair.
To be able to effectively answer your question, sir, we will have to refer to the legal service on that matter, and that will be a part of the submissions on the position paper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, General De La Cruz. And yes, Mr. Chair, that would be sufficient.
Yes,
if you could just submit a position paper on that. Mr. Chair, if I may I also ask that question to the NAPOLCOM, seeing as one of their legislative priorities is to provide more medical assistance and wellness initiatives to the PNP. Do they also believe that our colleagues from the PNP require legal assistance?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Totoo po yun, marami pong kailangan po ang PNP. That's why we've been moving for their morale and welfare. But if I may also put forward our agenda also, Mr. Chair, na kailangan din ho namin ng more lawyers in NAPOLCOM. We are doing lots of investigations in lots of cases, high profile at that. So we need more lawyers po. And totoo lang po, kailangan po namin ng CIF. We have zero. Kung meron man pong isang opisina de gobyerno ang kailangan po ng CIF, baka po ang National Police Commission yun. Pangatlo, baka ho pwede yung pong mismong empleyado po ng NAPOLCOM, magkaroon din po ng special provision for Provident Fund, scholarship program, at yung para ho sa use of income for the rehabilitation of our building. Meron po kaming income generating assets na hindi ho namin nagagamit. Sana ho magamit po yung special provision po, magkaroon po ng special provision para magamit naman po at maplubak po sa NAPOLCOM for Provident Fund, scholarships for our employees, and that of the PNP, and yung pong rehabilitation po ng aging building ho namin po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney Kalinisan. Mr. Chair, if I may just have one more question for our colleagues from the NAPOLCOM.
Sige po.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, earlier, Attorney Kalinisan discuss briefly that one of their legislative priorities is for the amendment of RA 6975 and RA 8551. Maybe also in the interest of time, our colleagues from the NAPOLCOM can provide us with a more detailed report or position paper on what exact provisions or matters of these laws they want to amend and why they think it is necessary to amend that, Mr. Chair. I think it would be helpful as well to all of the members of this committee, Mr. Chair, if that's possible, Mr. Chair.
We will
Sir.
comply po, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Are you done, Congressman?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Just those two questions.
The next to ask question is Congresswoman Representative Renico. Ma'am, you may
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to my distinguished colleagues and our honorable guests. My line of questioning po would be directed po to PNP and then BJMP. In your presentation po kanina, naglista po kayo ng mga priority legislative agendas. Meron po dito na bagong proposal doon sa mandatory full autopsy and prohibition on the unauthorized disposition of human remains arising from deaths under investigation or mysterious circumstances. Pwede po bang ma-discuss very briefly kung ano po yung laman ng bill na ito?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unfortunately, ma'am, I think I cannot discuss that in details because the expert that was the proposal of the forensic group. So may mga legal or may mga technical terms sila dyan, and we will submit a position paper for that particular purpose.
Since nandito naman po siya sa report, handa na po ba yung position paper at kaya po ba itong ma-furnish today?
Tomorrow? Can you do
Tomorrow.
it tomorrow, ma'am? Please?
Sige.
Thank you.
Tomorrow po, we'd appreciate, sabi po kasi dito, may draft bill na. So, I assume na meron na pong handa na pwedeng ma-share sa members ng committee in relation dito. Pero yung dun po sa number 6, yung sa adoption of AI-driven technology to modernize police administration, ito po ba pwede po nating ma-discuss? Given na, tama po ba na file na po ito last Congress?
Wala pa po, ma'am. That is a way forward for the Philippine National Police to be adept with the technology.
At saan po natin gustong ma-adopt yung AI technology to modernize yung police operations? Saan po natin siya gustong magamit?
Both in criminal intelligence, at the same time basic office administrations. So both in admin and the operations, ma'am.
May copy na po ba din kayo, may position paper or may bill na maaaring masubmit dito sa Congress?
None at this time, ma'am.
Sige po, but given na nandito naman po siya sa legislative agenda, we assume na kaya po ninyong ma-articulate kung ano po yung ilalaman nito dahil in the end, dito naman po siya dadaan and dito rin naman po pag-uusapan kung babudgetan or hindi.
Yes, ma'am. We will bring the expert on this matter since I myself is not technically proficient on this one.
Okay pa. So, mga kailan po kaya siguro makakashare ng more details in relation to number 6? Yeah.
Probably on the next hearing or meeting to be set by this committee, ma'am.
Sige.
We'll just have them ready.
Okay, thank you. We look forward to it po, Mr. Chair. Yung next line of questions ko po is in relation to body-worn cameras po. Can we ask, how many body-worn cameras po have been acquired by the PNP?
You would allow us, ma'am, to submit a further detailed position paper on that issue.
Okay po. I-open ko na lang din po yung other details that I'd like to request in relation to body-worn cameras, such as gusto rin po namin malaman kung na-distribute na ba sila and may guidelines na po in relation sa paggamit ng body-worn cameras.
Yes, ma'am. We have already distributed them, and actually we're using them on actual police operations. Even expanded their use to responding 911 calls. Kaya if you have the chance to visit the national headquarters, we'll be willing to tour you on the PCC for a demo on this the use of these body-worn cameras. The extended use of these body-worn cameras.
So since na-distribute na po siya, tama po ba may directive or guidelines na po kayong na-issue in relation sa kung paano siya gamitin or operationalize?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Maaari po ba kaming ma-furnishan ng copy ng guidelines na ito?
Yes, ma'am. We'll do that.
Thank you very much.
Are you done, Congressman Ko? Meron
Last
pa?
po for BJMP.
Sige, thank you.
Okay pa. In relation po to BJMP, may we clarify, ano po yung policy on visitation ninyo by members of the family, lawyers, paralegals, and guests?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Tama po yun. Ang priority po namin sa mga dalaw, first yung pong family, the immediate family. Then, yung pong mga lawyers, yan po, meron po kaming araw kung kailan po sila pwedeng dumalaw at may oras. Especially po, during the day po yan.
So, may specific days yung
Yes, sir.
on
Yes,
lawyers?
Mr. Chairman. We have.
Okay. Dahil this representation has received reports po in some cases na merong restrictions on the access of BJMP facilities in allowing visits by paralegals that have been, vested authorities by their legal counsels. Meron po bang basis on these restrictions?
Yeah, we have a policy on that, ma'am, Mr. Chair, about those mga pagdalaw. But kung ito po naman ay mga abogado nila, we are open, Mr. Chairman.
So may distinction po between lawyers and their paralegals or yung staff
Yeah, we will
ng lawyers?
furnish, Mr. Chairman, the copy of our policy.
Okay. Pero for the benefit of the body, may I ask, ano po ba yung distinction na dinodraw ninyo in relation sa allowing visits by lawyers and their staff?
Actually, yung pong paralegal natin, we have also our memorandum of agreement with the IBP and other legal profession. Even doon po sa association of schools, ng mga law schools, meron po kaming open para dyan.
Ano po yung sinasabi nung mga memorandum na yun?
That they can go there, Mr. Chair.
So, paralegals, law students that are handling these cases should be allowed should be allowed visits, no? As long as may authority sila.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. Kasi po, ang problema po talaga natin, kaya during my presentation a while ago, ang taas po ng ating congestion rate, that is 292. Pero napababa na po natin from way back before 600. So nakita po nito ng BJMP, two-prong approach. First, gumawa po tayo ng mga facilities. Pero gawa po kami ng gawa ng facilities, pero mas marami pa rin po yung pumapasok kaysa lumalabas. Only to find out na medyo kailangan po ng mga mabigyan ng kaalaman itong mga taong ito ng kanilang karapatan. Kaya po kami nagkaroon ng mga MOA signing agreement doon po sa mga law schools, doon po sa IBP, especially po doon po sa bawat IBPs all over the Philippines po, meron na po kaming agreement through the President of the IBP. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, I think yung discussion po or yung pag-mention ko ng paralegals, these are the staff of, contracted legal counsels na because of their status as paralegal and hindi sila lawyer, ay hinaharangan sila. So, bale, may restrictions on their access. So, tama po ba, may polisiya kayo na may distinction between yung access of lawyers and their staff?
With lawyers and their staff, pwede naman sila, Mr. Chairman.
Ayun po. So, dapat wala. So, kung paralegal ka, staff ka ng isang legal counsel, walang restriction in relation to access.
It should be communicated, Mr. Chairman.
Communicated where po? Paano?
So,
hindi naman po kasi all the time ay makakapag-advance notice si lawyer na pagpupunta, kailangan ma-share, Mr. Chair, bahagi ng right to legal counsel ng mga detainees natin is may access sila sa kanila.
Yeah, but alam niyo po, Mr. Chairman, open naman po yan sa mga dalaw, especially nga po yung I mentioned while ago, but ito po talaga ang intention namin kung bakit may mga response. Because po, minsan may mga contraband po na pumapasil lang naman po wala po. Kaya nga po, kasama rin po yon dun sa aming legislative agenda na ipinapasa para po mabawasan ang pagpasok nitong mga contraband. Hindi ko po sinasabi na sila po yun. But ito po yung kaya po namin nilimit doon po sa especially yung pong immediate family members and lawyers.
Yung concern naman din po nito is these paralegals, because hindi available ang legal counsel all the time, heavy yung caseload nila, sila yung nagpa-process ng documents for the legal counsel. So, in processing releases, following acquittals or dismissal, if any, dapat walang restriction. Tama po ba?
Congresswoman, wrap up na po para lang sa natin. In the interest of time, thank you.
Thank you po, Mr. Chair. Siguro ang huling tanong ko na lang po, kung may internal memorandum kayo or circular in relation to the policy of allowing paralegals, legal staff, yung kanilang visitation, paano mag-process ng documents, will you be able to furnish this representation, this committee ng regulations ninyo?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We will furnish the copy of a policy on your office, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Next is Congressman Ramil Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have 10 questions in mind, but I will ask only one to BJMP.
Thank you for your understanding, Congressman.
Okay. Director Ruel Rivera, tanungin ko lang po ang status ng Jail Integration Act. Ito po yung pagka-transfer po ng management ng mga provincial and sub-provincial jails sa BJMP. Kaya ako po ito na itanong kasi kanina na-mention yung pong isang possible integration din, pero ito po ay yung unified management system ng lahat ng mga jails. Kasi kung wala pong movement doon sa Jail Integration Act since 2024, paano mangyayari yung unified management system ng lahat ng jails kung yung simple na pagta-transfer ng mga provincial jails sa BJMP ay wala tayong movement. Nasasabi ko pong walang movement dahil almost 1.5 year na, pero wala nga pong nangyayari. Kayo po mismo nang sabi kanina na almost the same yung mandate ng dalawang ahensya. So yung almost the same yung mandate ng dalawang agency, hindi natin makonsolidate agad. What more kung gagawin pa nating integrated management system sa lahat ng kulungan? I understand na meron po tayong tinatawag na transition period. Pero yung 1.5 year, wala pong movement eh. Alam ko po yan dahil nung ako po ay gobernador, inabangan ko talaga yan. Actually, handa na nga po kami doon sa transition sa Laguna. Pero natapos po yung term ko, wala pong naging movement. Mr. Chair.
From
Okay,
the
Mr.
BJMP.
Chairman. Thank you very much for that representation of
One
our...
quick answer po.
Yes, sir. So, umuusad po ito, may mga consultation po kami doon sa mga governors po ngayon lang buong Pilipinas. Actually, nadagdagan na po yung numero ng mga sumusuporta dito. For the information of the chairman, si Congressman po ang aming pong Congressman Hernandez, isa po sa sumusuporta nito. Umuusad po ito because yung pong mga governors na nakakausap po natin, sumusuporta po dito. That is why kasama po ito sa second priority agenda po natin dito po sa representation ng BJMP.
Okay po, accepted po yung sagot na umuusad. Rephrase ko lang, medyo mabagal po. Umuusad pero medyo mabagal. Kaya sana po mas matutukan pa po natin ito. Salamat po.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and also we need also the support of this committee, Mr. Chairman.
Sige po. Thank you. Are you done, Congressman Hernandez? The next is Congressman Alano. Alana, nainip. Si Congressman Emeng Pascual po.
Yes, good afternoon. Maiksi lang po kasi 1 PM nagpa-extend lang tayo eh. Ang tanong ko po sa BJMP. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, alam naman nating lahat na ang BJMP, ang under nyo, ang district jails, city jails, and municipality jails. Ang tanong ko lang, dun sa mga PDL, magkano ang allowance natin per person sa pagkain, meal allowance?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Doon po sa allowance, meal allowance po ng ating PDL, we have 70 pesos. And that 70 pesos will be divided into 3 meals po, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor.
Yes, because 70 pesos per day, not per meal. So divided into 3, I think it's more than 23 pesos per meal. Do you think, sir, that's enough for...
Actually, Mr. Chairman, ito nga po yung palagi kong representation dito sa Congress and even another government office na we need to, patasan pa ng dagdagan. Ang una po naming presentation nito is to 170 to 150, pero alam naman natin that the government funding is tightening their belt. So, ang proposal po namin to make it 100 pesos. 100 pesos po. May taas po yung kalidad ng kanilang pagkain para po dito. We need it very badly. Kasi po, tumataas po through inflation. We have 3.6, 3.8% inflation every year. And matagal-tagal na rin po itong 70 pesos. And we need also your support for this. Ito po yung kausa ng BJMP na madagdagan po yung pagkain ng aming pong mga persons deprived of liberty ng mga clientele po namin, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
I think, sir, 130 pesos is not enough. Siguro gawin nyo 150 pesos and rest assured na tutulong kami susuporta sa inyo para ma-approve yung budget na yan.
Thank you very much. We will do the representation, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, because alam ko naman, sir, under the leadership of Jail Director Ruel S. Rivera, the people deprived by liberty and the personnel and officers of the BJMP are in good hands. Mabuting tao at mabuting opisyal po ito. Magandang hapon sa inyo.
Thank you. The last po, last na to si Congressman Mangum Dadato.
Good afternoon, everyone. This question is addressed to the good General de la Cruz. Sorry. Very quick lang to. I just want to know if how many body cams were distributed to provincial headquarters, to the Philippines, and to the CIDG personnels. Pati po yung mga stations natin in the localities. Gusto po namin malaman yun, General, and I hope you can furnish us the copy kung ilan lahat at nakompleto ba ito bawat stasyon ng ating mga bayan-bayan sa buong Pilipinas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will submit a report on your request. Figures on the body-worn camera. Lang po available yun.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In addition to my kanina, gusto ho namin pati ho isali ho yung 3 taon na ngayon kung ilan ba yung na-distribute at nung mga 2024, 2023, 2022. Kasi ho may mga na-encounter ho kami, Mr. Chair, na mga operations ng CIDG doon banda sa amin na wala ho sila mga body cams. At naghahanap pa ho ng camera bago sila papasok doon sa mga bahay-bahay. So gusto ko lang ho malaman yon magmula noong 2022, 2023, 2024, and this 2025, kung ilan ba ho ang nai-distribute sa kanila lahat?
So, General, can you furnish us a copy of what Congressman Mangudato requested?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will comply.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Dan,
That would be
last na po talaga si Congressman Bernos.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Before we adjourn, may I just ask the Bureau of Fire Hierarchy under Director Fernandez to submit to this committee a copy or a copy of those fire municipalities all across the archipelago with fire trucks, whether it be serviceable or hindi na po umaandar or what. Kasi I was a former national president of the League of Municipalities. Yan po yung common problem ng mga local chief executives ng mga munisipyo across the country, yung kakulangan ng fire truck natin. So, may I ask the good director to submit to this committee a comprehensive list of municipalities or fire stations without fire trucks or those with fire trucks. Ang isa pa pong issue dito, may mga fire station po tayo that you also station the firemen there, pero wala pong fire truck. Wala pong fire truck. That is a common problem in the far-flung municipalities. So, Mr. Chair, that will be all. Thank you.
Okay, you want
Thank
to respond?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We'll be furnishing the office of your office
Of this committee.
of this committee for the report of the municipalities with fire trucks.
Okay.
Your Honor.
I think there's no other matter. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Ayaw mo pa mag-adjourn? Seconded, there's a motion to adjourn, seconded by Congressman Roman. This committee is hereby adjourned.